kurang bisan wah jangama kurang bisan ya matrenelo iyan dem marong iyan den jay kai wai iyan dem marong suma iyan dem marong kai wai kurang bisan wah jangama mernala big wajal sumanje ke naise yo ya maton iyan kilime na fonye bang fan tv iyan kilime na fonye bang fan tv iyan kilime na fonye bang kasiti kadomo. Good morning wonderful listeners, welcome to another program, EDUSA program live on Fine TV. Today basically we will be, as we all know, the EDUSA elections is coming, and then all the preparations are on high gear. Today we are here with two wonderful candidates who will tell us who they are, and they will also discuss briefly their policies that they have for us. It's going to be a very interesting program, and like we all know, this is the second of its kind. It started last year where candidates will be allowed to come on board and then discuss their policies, interact with viewers, and then so that we will know which candidate are we voting for and the modalities in which we are going to do. So today we have two very wonderful candidates who will, in just a minute, will introduce themselves. But in the meantime, I'm your presenter or the moderator of the program. We're going to have a debate, and my name is Bokar Kande. I'm a member of the 14th Executive Council committee member of the IPRO department. Thank you for listening. Okay, we will first start with the candidate of Student Service Council, that is Molamin Keda. He will introduce himself. Molamin, you have the floor.
Okay, good morning, viewers and listeners of this honorable program. I am Mamadou El Keta, a third-year university student in the School of Education, and I'm also the candidate for Team SSC as the Education and Research Minister. It is indeed an honor to stand before you today as the candidate for Education and Research Minister under the most democratic, pragmatic leadership of Student Service Council. I, as the aspiring candidate for Education and Research Minister, has been a committee member in the said ministry of the 14th Executive Council as their Secretary General. I, Mohamed Lamin Keita, is a native of Farato, born and brought up in Badibu Kintekunda, Janea, then migrated to Kombo, where I've done my schooling and together staying with my parents. I am ready, prepared, and equipped to serve the interests of the Education Students Associations as their Education and Research Minister. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Modlamin. We all heard his introduction, and then we will now move to the next candidate from the Renaissance team. Gentlemen.
Yes, bonjour, Monsieur Kande. Bonjour, mon opposant, ML Keta. Bonjour, les représentants de Fine TV qui sont ici. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for the invitation. My name is Eldo Essiga, an English major and a French minor. I am currently a committee member under the Secretariat, 14th Executive Council, EDUSA, and currently I am the Vice President for Pan-African Students Association of the UTG, awaiting official handing over. I, Eldo Siga, I am from Jara Wellingaraba, and I did my schooling in Latrikunda, moved on to Greater Banjul Upper Basic School, and then finally to go to Senior Secondary School, where I gained my WAS certificate in 2013, and then moved to the Gambia College, where I also acquired my HTC in 2018. And currently, I am pursuing my degree in the University of the Gambia. And of course, being a dual language personality, I am ready and well equipped to serve EDUSANS. And of course, the vast experience that I've garnered through the years, I'm ready to bring them to EDUSA for the greater good of everybody. Merci beaucoup à tous.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sega, for that wonderful introduction, both candidates. Now we move on with the program. Like we said before, it's going to be a debate where each candidate will tell us their policies briefly, not much, because we don't have that much time. But then briefly, each candidate will give us the hint of what they want for Moda Edusa, because that is what brought us all here. That is to make sure that Edusa move forward. Now, we will move to the next question, which is um, to both candidates. What inspired you to vie for the said position? That is the portfolio of research minister under Edusa. What inspired you to vie for the said position? Online.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kande, for that wonderful question. What inspired me most to contest for this election is not about power hungry, but it's about the experience, the technical know how, the expertise, and the administrative equipped in me when I served as the Secretary General of the 14th Executive Council under the Education and Research Ministry. Administrative wise, I am equipped and personally in my life career, based on the knowledge that I have gained from my scouting experience, have equipped me the service delivery, dedication, and commitment. So with those knowledge and hard work and determination and commitment that are embedded in myself, pushed me or catapult me, forced me to contest in order to move Edusa to the dream of land or to the land of dream.
Okay.
Personally, myself, I've never been a politician. I've always said that even during the campaign. But because of the administrative experience that are already in me, I'm ready to serve EDUSA. Because one thing I don't want someone from different areas without no experience in those ministry, you want to serve as a minister. That is even one of the things that is even disturbing our current country, where someone, a nurse, will be the minister of agriculture. Personally, I'm equipped with the administrative and in the industrial roles and experiences that are needed for an education and research minister. Because personally, I am working with the African Project Against Suicide
Okay.
as their national IPRO. I'm
Mhm.
well equipped when it comes to research, and I have mentored, tutored, guide a lot of young aspiring emerging leaders in this nation. And currently most of them are even in the school of in the University of the Gambia at the school of BPA, where I've mentored, guide a lot of them. So service delivery is one of the main things that I love doing, and I do it with passion because it is the zeal that is in me. It is something that I've inherited from home,
Mhm.
because we are open, we guide, we care, we love, and we cherish everybody. So
Okay.
it's not about being the minister, it's about doing the service for people.
Thank you.
Because what I believe is that leadership is not about personal growth, but it's about collective growth and societal development.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Molamin, for that brief and insight reason. I hope everyone is listening. And as I said, this is a platform in which we are here to listen. We are not here to judge, neither to be on a side. We are here to listen to both of their policies and what they have for us and why and what do they have for Edusans. So we will move to Mr. Siga and then on the same question.
Thank you, Monsieur le modérateur. Donc, if you check properly, you realize that Team Renaissance, we have what we call integrity, honesty, and commitment. And ça, c'est le programme de Team Renaissance qui me promouvant pour participer à cette élection. I came in aspiring for Education and Research Ministry, knowing fully well that I am well equipped, well uh, uh, grounded in that particular area. He who knows Eldo will know that Eldo is just like the spider. The spider has all it needs to spin its web, and so do I. I have been leading right from my primary school. And looking at my CV, you realize that I am not such a person that is not versatile. I am versatile enough. And then, if given the chance, I am sure Edusans won't regret. Right from my first semester, I have been serving as tutor, both in French, cultural studies. I have been helping students apply for UTG, showing how selfless I can be, showing how humble Eldusiga is. Ask university students, they will tell you Eldu is a leader, a born leader for that matter. Because I am one that you always knock onto my door and then I will respond to your needs. And then, of course, being that such kind of person, of course, I realized that I could do it. Yes, that is what pushed me into vying for the position of education and research minister. And then looking at that portfolio, it needs somebody that understands not only the language. Language is important in research. And of course, it needs somebody that is well grounded when it comes to research. And of course, not having served in that ministry before doesn't mean Eldu cannot do it. Eldu is a man of adaptability. I easily adapt. And of course, when given the chance, you shall not regret it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Segu. That was inspiring from both candidates, and we all heard what they have said with regards to why the reason why they want to vie in for this position. Um, Now, without wasting much time, we will enter into the most important phase of the discussion. That is, um, each candidate will give us some of their policies that they have for the students of EDUSA, that is, education students of the University of the Gambia. We all know policies are one of the most important tools as when it comes to working under the ministries, because if you don't have policies, you will not be able to execute your roles and your responsibilities. Now, here they are sitting. We want to know, the students of the University of the Gambia on the School of Education want to know what are the policies that you have for us that you think will opt students to vote for you. Mr. Keta, the floor is yours. You can briefly give us, each candidate will be given 10 minutes to briefly discuss on your policies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kanda. Yeah, though the policies are not that much because I came up with a very, very smart policies. But as here highlighted, I'm giving only 10 minutes to wrap up my policies or to deliberate on my policies. In section 18, as the educational research minister, it says that the educational research minister is the one responsible for all the academic matters within the school of education. So one of my policies is that I want to promote academic excellence. And in promoting academic excellence within the school of education, is going to be in different ways. The first thing that I will want to introduce or I will want to even maintain, because as a committee member in the Educational Research Ministry, when we held one of our meetings, I proposed to the minister that we should even institutionalize the tutorial cycle. And the tutorial cycle is one of the major things that improved the students in the school of education. So I will maintain the institutionalization of the tutorial cycle where we have trained 15 grade tutors and even Eldo, his senior, where he, because whenever we are to start the tutorial cycle, we release forms for people to apply it. His senior, Fatu Fai, the one he normally paired with, she was trained by us for the tutorial cycle last semester. And we have trained 15 grade tutors where they have participated last year in the tutorial cycles. So I will make sure that the tutorial cycle is well maintained, coordinated, so that the promotion of academic excellence will not be a problem within the School of Education. I can tell you for free, we coordinated the most successful tutorial cycle within the School of Education, 2023 to 2024 academic year, on record, where we have 1,638 participants that participated during the last two tutorial cycles. We have the records, and if you can remember, during their tutorials, we normally come there with attendance list, either myself or Alassane Jita, where we recorded all the participants. So we conduct that one shop mainly to promote academic excellence. And not only that, I will make sure that there is partnership with the faculty officer where we will try to meet and discuss some of the academic challenges that students in the School of Education are facing and the way forward to solve them, most especially working hand in glove with the administration of the School of Education. Because as the Education and Research Minister, it will be incumbent in me to make sure that there will be no lapses when it comes to academic within the School of Education. And all the current students in the School of Education, their main target is to have what? Good performance. So that's one of my major policies that to promote academic excellence. The second one is educants already know that students' engagement and empowerment is one of the things that I even love doing. It's my passion, engaging and empowering people. If I am elected as the Education and Research Minister, there will be no doubt that students' engagement will be my top priority and their empowerment because we have already done it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We empowered when we came into our council as a ministry, Education and Research Ministry. We partnered with Yield Network where we trained 101 education students on research methodology, and time management through the Education and Research Ministry in consultation with the 14th Executive Council. And during the EDUSA week, educants, you all know that 101 education students were all awarded certificates. And I'm even happy that I can confidently tell you that even the moderator himself was handed over with that certificate because he was one of the people that we empowered on research methodology, and time management. And he was even awarded with a certificate during the EDUSA week. And not only that, student engagement. How do you engage students? Extracurricular activities, organizing quiz, symposiums, debates. These are things that I have loved doing because as a teacher, when I was teaching the provinces from 2014 to 2022, we I participated in debates as chairman, in debates as draft, in debates as timekeeper, different categories in debate. And that's what I love doing, exposing people's potentials to the outside world. Because that's what something that I love doing because I always want wherever I am, I either impact, connect, and inspire others. That has always been my dream, and I will make sure that I empowered and I engage students within the School of Education. How will I even empower them? Not long ago, we even have this verbal understanding with Startup Incubator where we have trained 30 education students on entrepreneurship. Everything cannot be learned in the four corners of the classroom. But we empower them, bringing in policies and programs that can be maintained and sustainable programs where our potentials will be exploited as expected. And the council will award them with certificates. And not only that, even when the new students of the University of the Gambia School of Education came in this current semester, a lot of them even text me because they thought that I'm the Education and Research Minister, asking that, okay, we are giving assignments. How will we even reference our works? I communicated with my minister, and personally, I went to lobby a venue because we are not given that access to use the college. I went to the principal at Mindau and she gave me a class where we conducted training on referencing and citations. And thanks to the senator, the people's senator, as as the facilitator. And we trained more than 23 education fresh students that have admission in the University of the Gambia. And not only that, we empowered even the fresh grade 12s who have know that they left grade 12 and come straight to the University of the Gambia in the School of Education. We empower them because we provide them micro teaching where we have 11 participants, both online and on site. We have delivered that. So students' engagement and empowerment is something that I loved most. And not only that, how will we empower students? Partnerships, internships. It's currently going on at the NCAC, National Center for Arts and Culture. Paid internship. Even the last census it says if you are a paid intern, you are employed. We created that partnership with National Center for Arts and Culture, where every 3 months we send two educational students to go and exploit their potentials, their experience in research work and many things within the National Center for Arts and Culture. And not only that, I have already started consultations with partners where if I am elected, where make sure that an MOU is signed with them so that we will send edusans to go and explore their potentials, to go and have more experience. Because personally, I am myself, if I should graduate today and they said, okay, you are posted as a cluster monitor, what are the roles of a cluster monitor? I don't know. meaning I will go and learn on the job. But my major dream is that to have partnership with the MOPSI so that at least they will give us 3, 5 spaces where we can send edusans to go and have experience, first-hand experience, than learning on the job. Because if you learn on the job, it will not be easy to effectively carry out your duties and responsibilities as someone that is entrusted with those roles. So it's what is also part of my policies, empowerment and students engagement. And not only that, I want to promote research and for the first time the introduction of EDUSA past paper bank. It's part of my dream and it's part of my policies. Why I'm voted in, I will make sure that they are effectively carried out. I've even started communicating with some of these national and international organizations where I want them to have what an MOU with the School of Education, where whenever they are to embark on research works, they will at least request 3, 4, 5 students from the School of Education to come and participate and have what experience in research work. And
Well, I mean,
yes,
sorry to cut you short. We have only a minute, 30 seconds to round up,
30
wrap up.
seconds to wrap up.
Yes.
Okay. Past paper question bank. I want to create a digital platform where students will be able to have easy access to all the educational past questions for effectively and efficiently help and guide them in their academic pursuit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Molamin. I think we all heard what he said with regards to his policies. With he said the tutorial circle is one of them, continuation of the tutorial circle. And then he also talked about meeting with the faculty office to discuss about students' engagement and other issues with regard to School of Education. And then most importantly, he dwell more on engagement and empowering awards, empowering students. He also talked about some of the things they have done, and what he um he want to do with regards to those things, pushing them forward. And then he talked about a lot of things that we cannot briefly summarize all. I think we all had it together. So we will move to Mr. Siga. You also have 10 minutes to talk about your policies.
Merci, Muse Kande. Well, I have a series of policies, and I would like to make sure that I give you at least three or even five of it because there are six in number. To start with, the tutorial cycle. Section 18 of the Constitution states that he or she shall be responsible for conducting what? Conducting and what? Supervising tutorial classes. Myself, having tutored multiple times, I have the experience and I know how to go about conducting tutorial classes. And of course, when voted into office, we shall make sure that the tutorial cycle is maintained and then is way more effective. Last semester, per se, there were some tutorial classes that were conducted, yet they were haphazardly organized. But anyways, it was conducted and we moved on. So far, when voted into office, I shall make sure that no more lapses in the tutorial cycle. And of course, I shall create a committee, a very strong committee, because one cannot be in the river and still thirst. I'll create a very powerful committee that will be there to prepare the tutorial timetable before, well before the tutorial classes start. Yes, aside from organizing tutorial classes, I shall make sure that I facilitate what timely clearance for MOPSI and MOHAS sponsored student. This has been a menace, and of course, I know even the SU, Education and Research Ministry, is struggling with it. But of course, one must be very proactive in making decisions. And when voted into office, we shall make sure that we work hand in glove with the various permanent secretaries, both MOPSI and MOHAS, constantly reminding them of their duties so that students will no more face the issue of sleepless nights and late clearance, which of course disturbs a lot of students. And of course, I am in MOPSI sponsors student sponsored page, but then I could feel the difficulties that they go through. But of course, that will be sorted out if you vote me into office, if you vote Team Renaissance into office. And then we move on to the issue of hosting debates and quiz competitions. He who knows Eldo will know that Eldo is a very good speaker and, of course, can be an inspiration to growing talents in debate and writing. Of course, I have not been writing, but then it doesn't mean you don't write, you are not a good writer. Of course, I am ready to inspire all those that are willing to participate in debates, in what? In writing competition. As a minister and my committee, when I come into office, I shall make sure that the issue of debate and public speaking and the issue of writing are all addressed, and then it will be more effective. You vote us into office, you shall encounter what we call Heroes Award. And the Heroes Award will go there to make sure that it acknowledges the writers, the speakers, those that are hardworking. They are rewarded. Vote me, vote Team Renaissance, and those things shall be put in place. And of course, another thing, fostering research. You see, research is meant to what? To change lives. Is meant to bring advancement, is meant to bring what? Development. But then if research cannot bring those things, it is futile. So when voted into office, we shall make sure that we partner with the research directorate of the University of the Gambia. And of course, we will also partner with CEPRAS, the Center for Policy Research and Strategic Study, which will not only expose EDUSANs to what? To real research. But then it will also serve as an avenue for them to tap income, thereby helping educants develop themselves. Research must be meaningful. Research must not just be per se, but then it must be impacting. If it is not impacting, then it is of no use. Raising awareness. That's that's one of these points that I really fancy. Raising awareness against crime in schools. As educators, it should be our primary responsibility to raise awareness against crime happening in our schools. And how am I going to do that? Of course, a very committed committee shall be formed which shall work on raising awareness through television programs, radio programs, and school outreach to make sure that students and teachers alike are sensitized against crime in schools. Because of recent, we can all attest to the fact that there are a lot of crimes happening in school, both against teachers and students. So therefore, it is our primary responsibility as students of University of the Gambia, as students of EDUSA, as educators, to make sure that we don't just stop at the university, but we also impact the life of those that are outside there. So it is very important. And then I'm going to make sure that I work hand in glove with MOPSI to make sure that that is possible. And again, we shall work on what? Addressing the issue of missing grades. Yes, of recent, just in the past semester, we've seen a lot of students complain about their grades. And I think it should have been the primary responsibility of the Education and Research Ministry to work on the issue of students' grade. But me coming into office, together with my committee, I shall make sure that that lapse is covered. And how am I going to make sure that it is covered? I am going to make sure that I create a what? An examination extract attendance list. And that attendance list will serve as a what? As a backup. Will serve as what? As evidence, which will therefore help us to be able to fight for the right of our colleagues.
Yeah,
But without which,
Mr. Sega, you
yes.
have 30 seconds.
Okay. Thank you.
You can wrap it up.
Good. On that note, I would like to say, Team Renaissance, we are a team of people, a team of leaders that promote what? Honesty, that promotes what? Integrity, that promotes what? Commitment. And then, of course, as usual, Team Renaissance never fail in giving you the best of leaders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Siga, for that brief um, roundup of your policies. He basically talked about the tutorial cycle, which he is going to promote and foster. He also talked about debate and then other other promotion that he will do, including in introduction of writing and then the award, Heroes Award as well. And then he also talked about the awareness on crime rates at the schools, which he will also work with his ministry to promote to sensitize and see that it reduces. So like we talked about briefly in our introduction, each candidate will be given time to rebuttal, that is to ask to rebut the points made by his opponent, and then we will start with Modlami. Sega will rebuttal Modlami, and we will move on based on what he has talked about.
Good. Thank you so very much. Uh, Modlamin, I want to believe that yes, you've served in the 14th Executive Council as a committee member on the education and research. And of course, you've made mention of organizing trainings in partnership with Yield Network. And you've made mention of training students on time management. Of course, that's very true, of which I attended. And you've made mention that you've awarded certificates. But then I would like to know why. Is it that I attending both of these trainings, yet I was not certified? Is it fair? And then looking onto the way that the Education and Research Ministry was conducting some of these programs, it was a stab in the back. You cannot work independently, which is a what? An override against the president and the vice president, the secretary general. As a ministry, you were expected to always work hand in glove with them to make sure that they are aware of your day-to-day activities. But we've realized that you were doing things the other way around. And again, even some of us that participated were not satisfied. Why? Why should that happen? That is very unjust. Is it just because we are Team Renaissance members? Or is it because of something else? I would like to know. And again, you've made mention of you being able to provide a
Draft a
research
look at
document.
yes.
But what importance, what relevance does that research document have for EDUSA? Because I would like to know what are some of the benefits that research document will bring to EDUSANS. Yes.
Okay. Yes, I think it was supposed to be more of a rebuttal at criticizing his points and policies, but it is more of questions, and I think Molamin will answer them. But first, you have to rebuttal his points.
Thank you, Mr. Siga, and what you have said. I heard it loud and clear, but I will also make it clear to you that the Education and Research Ministry was inclusive. We have never undermined the vice president, neither the president. Because if you checked our certificates on research method, time management, and research methodology, it was signed by the president and the secretary general. They are the signatories to that certificate. Mr. Kande, you were awarded a certificate on research method, time management, and methodology. The signatories to that certificate was the president and the secretary general. If we had undermined the president, he wouldn't have signed it. Mr. Siga participated in leadership training, accountability, and transparency. We conducted that training. We are yet to issue certificates. There were 30 participants at the theater conducted by Honorable Bakari Baji, MP for Fonyi Bintang, and this man, Mr. Ba, Comrade Ba. They are the facilitators, but Alassana Ba, we are yet to give them certificates because the council said they will award certificates during the award night ceremony of the council when the current council times expired and the new council is coming in. That evening, they normally organized a program, call it as the award night ceremony. If you attended the congress, Ismail Jasi said we have 400 certificates to be issued. We only issued only one program certificate, that is training on research methodology, and time management. That was only program we conducted and certificates were issued. But Ismail Jassi said 400 certificates are to be issued. So know that your certificates will be issued during the award night ceremony. And that program, I can tell you for free, I swear to the Quran, you have more than thousands or hundreds of Renaissance members that have participated in that training. Even our sister, Eve, can bear my witness because she always participated, because she always applied. Ismail Jasi is the one who always share the documents for people to apply it. I've never shared. They will share the link. People will apply. If people apply, they send me their numbers to add them and coordinate the program and coordinate it. It was not. I have never shared any document for people to apply. So on that note, I can tell you for free, we have never undermined the president, the vice president, or we have never deliberately ignored anyone about issuing of
Yeah,
certificates.
you can move on to the next question because we don't have
Okay, the
much
next
time.
question was about what? Even the vice president, we conduct a training on referencing and citation in consultation with the vice president. She doesn't appear at Mindau. You know, somebody was there, she doesn't come. She's even in the group. I created was her page. Her number is there. Even with the first grade 12, her number is even still in the page. If Buagar can allow me, I can show you the
No,
evidence.
no, we can move on.
Her
We don't
numbers are
have
I because I always
we
ask
don't
her
have
in
that
the
time. Let's
pages for her
move
to
on.
participate. To be honest, they said give the devils his or her due. Anamanga has been inspiring in those online messages that we normally say because you always text to motivate and support us.
Malami, you have two
But she
minutes.
has never attended it.
You have
That's
two
true.
minutes. You should now move to.
Okay, as is
Can you move?
about his
Can you move to
policies.
a reboot, guys?
Okay, there is already an agreement with a partnership with the research department of the University of the Gambia. So he said he's going to partnership. There's already a partnership. So it's just about if he's elected, as he said, he's going to continue, but not to come and build a new partnership with the director of research because the partnership is already there. Though I have not mentioned the institutions that I have wanted to empower educans to go and learn researches. But even separate is part of my targets. Likewise, National Agricultural Research Institution is part of my targets. Already there is an MOU with National Center for Arts and Culture where that one is continuing for educans. So SSC always believe in about what? Sustainable policies. That even if we are not in office, they can continue. One thing I can tell you for free, even the beautifulness of this fine TV, the agreement came through what? Through the Minister of SSC, that is Ms. Honorable Lamin Sane, the former IPR before Ismaila Jassi. He made that partnership with Fine TV. Where is Lamin Sane? He is gone. But today the partnership is continuing. That's what we believe in. Bringing in policies, program for sustainability. Not when I am not there, the program or the partnership will not function. Even the National Center of Arts and Culture have never participated. Though I wanted to be there as an intern, a paid intern, so that I can also equip myself in researches. But the ministry agreed that no committee member will even apply it or go there. So had it made it
Malami, you
was
have 30 seconds.
pick and choose, I'll be there. But not committee members. And I can tell you for free, even right now, one of the interns at National Center for Arts and Culture is a member of Team Renaissance. So we have never give opportunities only to the Student Service Council, but we always bring solutions or policies for the entire educans. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Malami, for that those wonderful questions. And then um, we have now come to the tail end of the program. But before we move on, and then we will allow each candidate to ask two questions, or let's say one question, and then to his opponent. Then you will also be allowed to answer within 1 minute. So Molamin,
Yeah.
you are given 3 minutes to ask one or two questions to your candidate.
Okay. Eldo is a brother, a colleague, a coursemate. We have done three different courses together, and this is politics. We are not enemies, but we differ in policies and programs. I just have two short questions to ask my brother. Though I don't even want to ask him, but it's part of the political game. So I have to ask. Okay, Mr. Siga, you are known in the School of Education as someone who is committed, dedicated to work because we have shared classes, courses together. I have seen your commitment and dedication to work and even in academics. But my problem or the misunderstanding that I have about you is that what compelled you come and contest as the education and research minister, where you know that institutionally, administratively, they technically know how in that ministry. You have never been even a committee member in that ministry and you want to be the minister. So that doubts me. I want you to clear that doubt for me. Secondly, you want to serve this education students. And some of the major activities of EDUSA you have not participated. Major activities that I mean, not about this tutorial cycle. Major activities we have not participated, but I saw you on the orientation day where it was a hunt for new intakes for recognitions. You were there. Before that day, there was an activity, major activities of the council, but you were even there. I want you to tell me at least three major activities of the council or the Education Student Association that you have participated apart from the tutorial cycle. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Siga, you had the question.
So
You have 3 minutes.
to answer,
Yes.
good. Thank you, Mr. Keta, for that wonderful question. And maybe you were not paying attention, but Siga, maybe you can talk of a nationwide tour. But apart from the nationwide tour, Siga is always present. And let's talk about the Students' Week. The EDUSA Week, Eldu is always present. Where were you that you can see Eldu? Eldu is always present. And you've even made mention of trainings, EDUSA training. Didn't I attend? Of course I did. Eldu is present. And you talk of football matches, which I don't usually attend, but of course I attended one here last semester here at the college football field. Of course, it's an EDUSA program. So if you say you don't see me in major EDUSA programs, maybe you don't pay attention. But SIGA, apart from the nationwide tour, is always present. Yes.
Yeah, he asked two questions. The second question was, he said, you never worked on the research ministry.
Okay.
What propelled you to
Thank you.
vie for a position that you have no experience in?
Thank you. Just as I said earlier, Eldusiga, just like the spider, has all it needs to spin its web. Not having served in that ministry doesn't mean Eldu doesn't have the expertise to be in there and lead. And of course, being there, I shall not be a boss, but then a leader. What does a leader do? He works in collaboration with his people to make sure that whatsoever policies or programs they have are attained. So me being there, as I said earlier again, you cannot be in the middle of the river and still thirst. EDUSA has great minds. And of course, when we voted into office, we're going to come up with that very strong and committed committee that will work in implementing all of our programs. Thank you so much for even acknowledging the fact that I am hardworking and committed. And of course, I know the entire EDUSANs know that Eldu is a committed person. If that is the only case, then most of our leaders would have never led. Barrow is a typical example. Barrow has never served in the government before, but then Barrow is here leading the Gambia. And then we have so many other leaders. Of course.
Mr. Sega, you have 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you. So, EDUSANs, make no mistake. I know you have the trust in me. Come on the 26th, vote me into office, vote Team Renaissance, and you shall not regret it. The research ministry shall be better.
Yes. No, we will allow him to ask. Then you can. Yes, he answers. So he's going to ask. So allow him to come back. Then you will have your chance too. So Mr. Sega, you also have ask your questions that you need to ask him. The floor is yours.
Good. Thank you. Molamin, I respect you so much, but there is something I would like you to clarify here. You worked under the Education and Research Ministry, and then you refuse to acknowledge the fact that your ministry undermined the president and the rest of the council. Thank you. But we all know that there was an incident wherein the dean was forced to sign those documents prior to the president signing it, the secretary general. They signed it because they had no other ultimatum, because then it was already signed by the dean. So in order not to just waste the resources, they had to sign it. But now, I would like to ask you, where were you, or what have you done to make sure that the ministry did not do such a thing to undermine the leadership of EDUSA? And my second question is, EDUSANs have been struggling with the issue of clearance. Most of them were lately cleared. And then it is the responsibility of the Education and Research Ministry to work in consultation, because Section 18, subsection 5 says that he or she shall work in partnership with relevant authorities with regards to all educational issues. And what did you do? Because you were in that ministry. You cannot tell me that you were not working together as a team. You wouldn't tell me that you were only having a boss that does everything independently. So I would like you to clarify those two questions.
Okay, Malami. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you,
Yes.
brother. Just make it 5.
Make it three. We are running out
Okay,
of time.
Mr. Siga, to be honest with you, if you said we organized a program and where the dean signed a certificate, the Education and Research Ministry, that's misleading, to be honest. It was an entrepreneurship training conducted, supervised by the Student Service Council. I have the certificate, it's in my phone. If I don't know my moderator without me, I can bring it out. It is purposely organized, coordinated by the Student Service Council. The Education and Research Ministry has no hand. We have never conducted a training where the dean have signed the certificate. I said we only issued only one certificate as a ministry, that is on research method, research methodology, and time management. It was signed by the president and the secretary general of the 14th Executive Council, Musaba and Bireso, were the signatories to those certificates. Almost I can say I have all the certificates in my phone here, because when Ismail Ajasi, the IPRO, printed them, it was sent to my boss, Madas Malcolm. It was sent to me for coordination. And if Mr. Kande can be honest enough, when he look at that certificate, he will know that it was sent by Musaba and Bireso. But the training on entrepreneurship was not organized by the Education and Research Ministry. We were blamed that we were the one who conducted it. I was a participant in that training. I was a participant, not a coordinator. I was in that class together with different people. Even your boy was there, Demba. Ask Demba, the current class type of oral and written literature. He will tell you that it was organized by SSC, because the Congress of SSC, that was the day that we even award certificates. I was awarded with a certificate as an entrepreneur, but we have never conducted and go to the dean and sign. The certificate that the dean signed was conducted, that training was conducted by the Student Service Council in collaboration with Startup Incubator. The current startup training on entrepreneurship that we have partnered with the Startup Incubator was coordinated by the ministry, and the certificates are yet to be issued. And I promise all the participants that you will have your certificate during the award night ceremony. We don't undermine the president, neither the vice president. Even the training on research method, time management, and research methodology, the president, the secretary general, the vice president, I added all of them in that WhatsApp page. And asked Musaba, he contributed during the orientation with Yield Network. He even spoke, likewise Bure. So we never undermined them. The second question was about what was my effort in the ministry during clearance. As a ministry, first what we did was we conducted an online meeting where we discussed everything, because by then a lot of students were crying that they are not cleared and registration for courses have started. We have conducted an online meeting where I have served as this SG, recorded all the minutes, share it. And secondly, we created a list, copy and paste your name. That's what we have done. Copy and paste your name, the course that you have pending grade, or the problem that you have, so that it can be solved. Because MRT Holland, you are not cleared if you do not submit your transcript. So some of the students were crying that some of their grades are not in. So the first thing we did as a ministry was to collect the data. I compiled everything, print the list out. We started making consultation in partnership with our boss, the main education and research minister at SU level. Then we started going to faculty officers, from one faculty officer to another, within the schools, within the University of the Gambia, so that their grades can be in for students to go and collect their transcript and submit to MRT Holland for clearance. Secondly, the Deputy Education and Research Minister, Mahmoud Sanu Jallo, was the one who went to Mohast in partnership with main education and research minister, SU. They went there to make follow up. Though I did not go there, to be honest. But they went there on behalf of what? Our ministry. And I was even present, Malcolm. I told him that, hey, collect Bire, go to Banjul so that MOPSI can clear the Islamic students. Or those under their sponsorship, they can be cleared.
Well, I mean, you have 30 seconds.
I did not go to Banjul, neither I did not go to Bijulo. The minister went to Banjul with the SG. The deputy education and research minister went to Bijulo, to Mohast. But I did the data collections so that we will know the affected students.
Okay. Thank you very much. The program is getting interesting, but then, like we said in the beginning, time is not on our side. We are almost at the tail end of the program. We only have 3 minutes. So in that 3 minutes, I will allow each candidate to quickly summarize, and then if he or she has any point to clear out, you have to do that in 1 minute. Well, I mean,
Okay. Conclusion, Edusans, you dare not make any mistake and vote for people who will be learning on the job. Vote for people with the expertise, with the administrative know-how, with the technical and the industrial know-how to catapult our Mama Edusa to the dreamland. As my incoming SG said, Faraba is orange. The wind of change has blown. Let's Edusa breathe. So on that note, I cannot say that I am the best leader, but what I know, leadership, great leaders learned leadership, and I'm well equipped because I have attended an international training on leadership and development where I'm well equipped. And not only that, my activities within the scouting movement of the Gambia from grade 4 to date, I'm a bona fide and registered scouter. And in the laws of scouting, we have truthfulness, dedication, commitment. They are all embedded in the laws of scouting. And I have all those qualities, what it takes to lead as the minister of the 15th Executive Council, as the Education and Research Minister.
thank you very
Because
much,
I will
Molami.
not. Okay.
We we need to wrap up, and then Mr. Siga.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Kande. By the way, I think Molamin misunderstood my question and he still did not answer it, but it's okay. But he misunderstood it. But then the issue was the same certificate he said they awarded was the very one I'm asking of, which is on research method and methodology, which I attended and still did not receive. But then he said they issued out. Maybe he did not understand the question, but that's okay. Now I'll go ahead and tell Edusans come on the 26th, vote us in office because Team Renaissance is the real deal. Team Renaissance is the team that always give you leaders that are prudent, leaders that are committed, leaders that are excellent at what they do. And of course, Team Renaissance is here to stay. I urge you all, make no mistake by listening to him saying that Eldu has no, or somebody that has no experience in that particular ministry. That's not true. That's not true, my people. Vote me into office because you all know Eldu Siga is a hardworking somebody. Eldu Siga is a committed somebody. And of course, he talked about having experience in various associations or trainings. Myself, I started something way bigger than that since my primary school. Let's say I even did the scouting from my primary 5 to primary to grade 8. Red Cross, the same thing. Various clubs. And I even partake in the International Global Caring United Planet Hour 2009. I served in various capacities, various portfolios. Currently, as I told you earlier, I am the vice president for Pan African Students UTG. So, awaiting official handing over. I shall even invite him to
Mr.
the handing
Siga,
over when the
thank you
time comes
very
on.
much for
Team Renaissance is the big deal. Vote us into office,
yes.
and we shall continue the mission.
Thank you very much, wonderful viewers. We've now come to the end of the program. We've heard from both sides. You know, the debate was a little bit heated. Well, I think we all heard what they said. Now it is left onto us. Like I said, we are sitting on the fence, waiting for your approval. It is you that have the vote. If it is your voice that we need to hear come on the day of the election. So on that note, I would like to thank Fine TV for hosting us, for giving us this opportunity to come here and then share our views, our aims, and our objectives, what we want for Mother Edusa. And then on that note, I will say thank you until we come your way again. I am Boubacar Kande. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Yeah. Good. Thank you.